Welcome to another episode of Come Let Us Reason Together. I am your host, Yandea, and joining me, like always, is my friend, my brother, my co-host, Duane. Say what's up, Duane.
Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another episode. Twice in 1 week. That's a good, yeah,
And
getting blessed.
only those who join us live will know that it's been twice in 1 week. But
Yes.
for those who don't know, we are on episode 9 of a 10-part series. So come let us reason together. We have been following, or I could say, being a companion to the videos that I've been releasing every Tuesday, which is a 10-part series all about the voice of God, right? How to know the voice of God from everything else. And so we are now on episode 9 of the Not Every Voice is God
Mhm,
10-part series.
mhm.
And which means we're also on our complimentary, um, this is how you know, episode 9, right? Complementing that series. So um, I'm out here. I know my background looks different, not the usual thing, but I'm out here. We had our retreat last Thursday. Actually, that's Friday. I came out. It was some time with the family and so on, and just having some me time and really getting ready for what's next. So this is why my connection might seem a little bit weird, and this is why my background is definitely giving tense in the back. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's get that out of the way, and let's get to um talking about episode 9, which was called think it was called When the Voice Inside You Turns on You,
Yeah.
right? When the voice inside you turns on you, right? Not every voice is God. What do you do when that somewhat inner voice, your own voice, is just extremely, not only is it negative, but it is not in alignment.
Yeah.
And very easily, people can mistake that critical voice,
Yeah.
that condemning voice,
Yeah.
that voice that accuses, right?
Yeah.
Can mistake that voice for the voice of Most High. So, Duane, I know that you watched that video.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts, your points, whatever it is, and let's get into this.
Mm. Yeah, it was such an amazing video. And there was one thing that you said at the end that, kind of stuck with me, which is that, like, this is not just about like self-talk or like negative self-talk. This is about spiritual hygiene. And that really, resonated because it is a greater issue than, maybe some people, we've been attuned to realizing, it's like, oh yeah, everybody has negative self-talk. You have that voice inside of you that's super critical. But the damages that that can have on your emotional, mental, physical, spiritual well-being, are substantial. And you talked about evicting that voice, and that is so important. And I wanted to go back to one of the first couple of points you made where you talked about a voice that condemns versus a voice that convicts. And, there's a culture, especially in, certain religious and spiritual communities, where judgment and condemnation are programmed into our minds as far as like associated with God. You see in scriptures, you see the pastors talking about it, you see like it's all over and it's fully internalized as well. Where, it almost feels natural to
Mm,
believe or to associate that, that voice that's very critical, especially if growing up, you've had your parents criticize you. And like, people often conflate earthly and divine parents, like people around you, whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
you're criticizing yourself, you know what I mean? So it's
Yep.
like you grow in an environment of this, this conflict within yourself, where there's negative talk and there's criticizing, and it's all meant to come from a positive place, but not every voice is God. So it's important for people to be able to reprogram themselves to differentiate between these two voices. And I wanted to ask you, like, how can people reprogram themselves to um, have that clarity between the two, especially when we're now talking about people also healing from things that they've been dealing with, and to not just conceptualize that the voice of God is a voice of truth, it's a voice of love, it's a voice of clarity. When it's convicting, it is to lift you higher, never to make you feel shame or fear or guilt or to bring you into a lower vibration. So it's like
Hmm.
for people to not just conceptualize that, but fully understand that, fully have a connection, a realization
Right.
with that, that
Hmm.
the voice of God does not carry that tone of shame or condemnation,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you said it so much there. You you said
Said a lot.
so much, and your question kind of was like,
It's a statement and a question.
it's a statement, is the answer, it's the question, it's everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, like you said it, right? The voice of Most High is not condemning.
Mm,
It will correct, like I said, it will convict. There's always grace.
mhm,
The
mm,
reason for the correction is always to um bring you higher. It's always to really and truly, it's like really always to kind of save you from a part of yourself that is
yes.
self-destructive, that
Yes.
is self-hate, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has
Mm-hmm.
self-hate. And
Mm-hmm.
um the voice of Most High is always trying to bring you into a place of alignment and into a place of coming to realize what your true nature is. And just in that alignment with your true nature and coming to know who you truly are, there is, I mean, we talked about it the last time, right? Like a sense of peace that you get when you
Mm-hmm.
know that you have heard, from
Yes.
Most High, whether or not there's confirmation or not. And it's
Yes.
kind of like the same thing, right? How do you distinguish between your negative inner voice
Mm-hmm.
and the voice of Most High? When you're doing that whole, like we said, it's more than just negative self-talk. It's it really is, uh I want to say it's almost like a cancer. You know what I mean? Like so when we talk about like spiritual hygiene, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way that cancer needs certain things in order to grow, right? The same way that other things, other negative things need more negative stuff in order to grow. That those voices of negativity, if you don't nip it at the bud, like I said, something so easy as just saying that is not God. When you hear that
Yes.
voice of condemnation, that voice
Mm-hmm.
that's accusing all of
Mm-hmm.
these things without grace, without a solution, without,
Mm-hmm.
you know, any form of redemption. It's just accusing in order to keep you in a state of guilt.
Yes.
All of these things you have to take in. And when that's what's happening, just crushing you down, you know what I mean? To like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, immense like depression and all of this like pity
Right.
party, poor me, I'm no good. That's not Most High. That's not
Exactly.
Most High, at all,
Yes.
because what Most High thinks of you is that you are created in the image and likeness of Most High. So you can do all things if you come into knowing who you are. So when that voice inside is telling you opposite of who you are, which is made in the image and likeness of Most High, which basically, put it this way, when a voice comes along saying to you that you are anything that is opposite to what Most High is, you could know that that's not Most High.
Yes.
And someone might say, well, Yandea, I am a very lazy person. And I say this to myself a lot. You're so lazy. You never get anything done. You never get anything done. If Most High is true, and if Most High speaks truth, why wouldn't the voice of Most High tell me the truth, which is that I'm lazy? Well, it's because God calls things into existence even when they are not.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because Most High exists inside and outside of time. So you may not be manifesting all of who you truly are. What Most High is going to do is Most High is going to continually speak into your life who you actually are. Most High is only going to say who Most High sees you as. And what Most High sees is the finished product. It's just the same way like when I'm an artist, right? And so I have an idea in my mind of what I'm going to create. It's already done in my mind. I have the canvas and the paint and the brushes and all of these things are within time. But the complete thing is here in my mind. And we exist in the mind of Most High.
Yes.
Okay, so this is complete in my mind. Now I'm bringing into matter, right? Paint and paint brushes and canvas and all of these things. And I'm now going to call forth what is real. What is real, not what is imagination. Although imagination is a whole different topic. Imagination is really amazing and excellent. But in the mind of Most High, what is real?
Yes.
I am going to only say and only speak what I see and what I know is real and what I have created, because what you think is the beginning of creation, right? So I am only going to look at you and say, you are strong, you are productive, you are creative, you are, successful. That is what I am going to say. I am going to say and only see my finished product. Because if you call things into reality that you don't want, then you stay in that space.
Yes.
So you have to realize that the same way there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Meaning what you think about yourself is the state that you are going to find yourself in or be in, because that's how powerful your thoughts are. Likewise, whatever Most High thinks, as a man thinketh, so is he also. As Most High thinks, so is Most High.
Yes.
So if you are made in the image and likeness of Most High, and Most High thinks of Most High self in a certain way, that is how you are also.
Right.
It really is that. That is how you're also. Now, I can't, and this again is how powerful thoughts are, right? I can't make anyone believe that.
Yes.
But again, thoughts are powerful because we are made in the image and likeness of Most High. And everything exists in the mind of Most High. So if you choose to believe that you are a child of Most High, an emanation of Most High, whatever, however you want to put it, if you believe that you are made in the image and likeness of Most High, and that whatever goodness you see or you believe to be in Most High is also within your own self,
Right.
That's what you need to focus on. The things you focus on will continue to manifest.
Yes.
That's not to say if you find characteristics within yourself that are less than desirable, that you
Variable.
shouldn't be proactive in
Yeah.
changing those characteristics.
Yeah.
But the more you focus on the things about yourself that you don't like,
Mm.
and if that's your only focus, remember, we go back to feeding that thing. If all you ever do is focus on all the things about you that you think are wrong,
Mm.
then all you're ever doing is feeding yourself only
Yeah.
negative things about yourself,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so there has to be well, I'll say you have to be realistic, right? You
Mm.
have to be realistic. You could say to yourself something that's very honest is that I am a work in progress in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that means that you are not denying the fact that there are things, that are being shaped in
Mm-hmm.
you, but
Mm-hmm.
you are more so looking forward to who you are becoming,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So you don't ever have to deny the things that you are
Yeah.
stumbling in.
Yes.
But if your focus is only on where you're stumbling, you're
Yeah.
unable to see the places where you can rise. You know what I mean? You're unable
Yes.
to see these things.
Yeah.
And also, it's like you have to know, well, whose report do you believe,
Mhm.
right? Are you going to believe what your pain keeps saying about you,
Right.
or are you going to believe what God says about you?
Right.
Right? If God says you are made in my image and likeness, maybe you need to start asking to see that. Maybe you need
Mm.
to start asking to demonstrate that
Mm.
instead of pointing out all the ways that you're not. And,
Mm.
so this is what I was trying to say, like with a cancer, the same way cancer needs certain things to feed off of to continue to
Mhm.
grow,
Mhm.
is the same way that this like we said, spiritual hygiene, it's bad
Yes.
bad spiritual hygiene.
Yeah.
It's a dis-ease,
Yes. Yes.
spiritually, when you continually fail to see
Mhm.
yourself the way that Most High sees you.
Mhm.
And it really is a dis-ease because
Mhm.
you don't, there's no part that really honestly feels good about all of that condemnation
Mhm.
and all of this negativity, right, that
Mhm.
goes through. So
Right.
yeah. Does that make sense, Duane?
It does. It does.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that kind of answered my second question. So, what people should be focusing on during this time
Mm.
is one, seeing, and asking to see and asking
Yeah.
to, embody that or asking for that to be revealed, seeing the finished product or seeing the, version of yourself that Most High sees. And at the same time, acknowledge the things that you want to work on, put effort and activity into that, but don't only focus on that. Like you need to be focused on like the becoming, essentially.
Yeah, if you spend your time um if you spend the majority of your time focusing on
Hmm.
positive things will start happening, not just in your life, but around you.
Right.
If you, I can't stress like how powerful the mind is, especially in like manifestation, not just manifesting
Hmm.
things around you, but manifesting, um, also manifesting the life, you know what I mean, that you want to live. I have a story, but it's too early to tell the story because I'm
I know.
laughing right now because I'm like, even up to today, I mean, I woke up and I said, there's something I needed to happen. And I said, you know what? This is happening. I was going to bed and I felt a little bit defeated And
Mm,
spirit was like, you forgetting who you are.
mm,
And I said, and it said, oh, tell me when you're done playing this game. I said, what
mm,
game? Well, this game of the helpless human.
mm.
I said, I said, what do you mean? I knew. I just said, what do you mean? But I knew
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, right? So I'm like, what do you mean? And I literally like drifted into sleep with this conversation.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
when I woke up, I was like, okay, that's it. Like this is
mm-hmm,
done. Like I
mm-hmm.
know exactly my position, my posture, my
Yes,
spiritual posture that I'm supposed to
yeah,
take in this day, what I'm
yeah.
gonna have done, how I'm gonna handle it, where I'm gonna stand, because this was all fun and games. But now I'm like, nah, you know what I
Mm,
mean? And
yeah.
so I just said, yeah, this is how I'm gonna deal with it. And every phone call I had to make, everything I had to do today was just like
Mm-hmm,
center. Don't don't
mm,
don't deal with nothing and no one
mm.
unless you are in the center. And
Yes,
some days you don't have to think about it. Some days I'm just in the center all day. And other
yes,
days when
yeah.
certain things happen, it kind of, you know, it throws you off, or you allow it
Mm-hmm,
to throw you off. And if you
mm-hmm.
if you just run with that tide, you'll be off. And you have to
Yes,
find yourself like, wait a minute, why am I in this thing? Let
yes,
me put myself
yes.
back. And so kind of like that's what it was like. And every
Mm,
single thing today just moved, in the direction that I needed it to be in.
yeah.
I mean, even the weather obeyed. Even the weather obeyed. And
Yes.
it's just been a great, amazing day. And yeah, and so I mean, I shall. You guys remember this one about I shall give you details,
Yes,
you
yes.
know. Um, but
Mhm,
it's amazing, I remember I had to cut a tree today. Well, many trees, but I had to cut down a tree today, and I had to do it by a certain time. And my son says, Mom, we don't have the tools to cut this tree, and the
mhm,
place where the place where we are right now, you need like 3 or 4 people to be around this thing, and whatever the case is.
mm,
I'm not saying it's okay to put yourself in danger, but i
yes.
said i said no, you know what, I said this tree is going down. I said this tree is going down. And
Yes.
I love the tree. I was talking to you to the trees the whole time.
Yes.
And I said,
Yes.
no, but I'm looking at every which way that I could. I only cut down what I had to cut down, right? And
Yes.
I'm like, no, this part actually has to go down. And so
Yeah.
I said, you know what? You need to have faith. This is the issue. You're seeing all of the problems, but you're not seeing that this is what we have until this time. And the only thing you need to do is just keep yourself in prayer. That
Mm,
because it was like calling for like thunderstorms and all of this stuff,
yeah.
right? So
Yes.
I'm like, that's all we need to do is make sure that this stuff, goes this direction, but the tree is
Yeah.
going down. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's happening. And the tree's gone, right? And
Yeah.
as soon as our time was coming upon, as soon as was coming upon the time,
Mm,
somebody came by and confirmed, oh, all of this is great, like these trees, exactly. I'll give the story.
mm,
I'll give the story one day. But the
yeah.
whole point,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
is the whole point is that had I not known from when
Yeah.
I woke up that no, everything is gonna move
Mm-hmm.
in the direction that
Mm-hmm.
I needed to move in.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall,
Yeah.
it shall.
Yeah.
And that was it. I wasn't taking, I mean, when I realized I had to go outside, I checked the weather, and exactly when it was supposed to start, this thunderstorm is exactly when I
Mm-hmm.
got told, okay, oh shit, I need to cut down this tree. And
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't say, oh, my husband isn't home. I don't have a
Yeah.
good saw. I just
Yeah.
said, guys, we got to cut this tree. Like, let's go. And
Yeah.
now and did that, you know what I mean? And so it was amazing. It was a great time, out there, and I just kept thinking at the end of it, I said, wow, exactly at the nick of time, we're done
Wow.
everything we're
Wow.
supposed to do. And
Mm-hmm.
everything is passed through and whatever. So I just said, yeah, Most High is good. And I came inside and I felt I was wet and I was cold, but it was the
Yeah.
best wet and cold I felt,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was
That
like,
feeling of
yes,
accomplishment.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my hubby's gonna be so proud of me because,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't now, stuff isn't like, delayed, right? Whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so that being said, it's like when you know who you are, the talk that you talk to yourself is very different, because I absolutely know that if Most High says this is for you and this is happening, then it's happening.
Yeah.
Faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
So I could have the faith for what Most High said, but if I'm not willing to put the work in to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish it,
Mm-hmm.
then it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So guess what? If hubby's not there to do the work, guess who's here? I'm here. The older boys
That's
are
it.
here. The three of
That's
us
it.
were gonna do the work.
That's it.
And that's all it was. And
Yeah.
you know, I could have said, none of us have cut trees before. These trees are too big. We don't have the right tools. You
Yeah.
know, I could have made excuses. I could have said, I'm incompetent in doing this. What if I cut my limbs? What if, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things. What if I slide when I'm climbing the tree?
Yeah.
What if I could have made I could have, it's not that, I didn't hear these whispers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I didn't hear these whispers. Yandea,
Yeah.
are you sure you're putting your children in danger? You're gonna go out there, it's gonna start raining, you're all
Yeah.
cutting trees. Y'all don't know, you've never cut a tree.
Yeah.
These are big, you know what I mean? You never
Yeah.
done this. But I was like, no, all things are possible.
Yes.
And ideas were coming to me. I mean, left, right, and center. And I was like,
Yeah.
nope, let's do this. Even taking down certain like branches,
Branches.
I was like, okay, this is a huge branch. Okay, I'll just walk this way, turn that way, and then boom, maneuver,
Mm.
because I was just in that place of,
Yeah.
I know that this is for me. It's for
Mm-hmm.
me today. I'm in alignment, and there is nothing standing in between me and the outcome.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know, I feel like we had strength and stamina and endurance that was divine.
Mm-hmm.
That was divine.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That's such a beautiful story. I
I
can't
know, and
wait to hear all
I'm
the
like,
details.
it would be so much more juicy if I could give you all the
Yes.
details, but
Yes.
nah, not
Nah.
yet.
Nope.
Not yet. Not
That's
yet. It's
okay.
not time yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But wonderful example of, everything that we're talking about, not just listening, not just take going in with that voice or that feeling of like negativity, but like
Right.
you heard it, but you had this sense of I am, and that sense of I am
Yeah.
overrode all
Over.
of the other voices,
Yes. Yes.
and allowed you to carry out exactly what you knew you had to carry out, exactly when, exactly how, like everything lined up was in
Yeah.
alignment, Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is huge. That's a huge feat. Yeah.
It's so funny because as you're saying that, I'm remembering there was a
Hmm.
time when this man came by, and I was telling him all this stuff, and then he says, well, he looked at me and he goes, okay, well then what would you like me to do? What would you what would you like me to do? And I looked at
Hmm.
him, and it's so funny, it was like this split second. And I was like,
Hmm.
you want to ask me that question? And I
Right.
said, paraphrasing, I said,
Hmm.
oh, I would no. He's like, what would you like me to say? That's what he said. What would you like me
Hmm.
to say? And I
Hmm.
said, oh, I would like you to say, I'm gonna have this all done for you as soon
Yeah.
as possible. And then
Yes.
I could see like he raised his eyebrows, like he didn't expect
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
And then he just was like, okay, And the next thing
Yeah.
I knew, he was just like, okay, I'm gonna try to handle this as soon as possible for you. So
Wow.
at the end of the day, like I said, you know what I mean? You
Hmm.
have to stand in who you are.
Mm,
We have, here's the thing, our parents are
mm,
imperfect as far as how they view themselves, right?
mm,
Our
mm-hmm,
parents are children who
mm-hmm.
have come into adult bodies and
Yes.
who were raised by other children who were in adult
Mm,
bodies,
mm,
and they were raised by other children who were in adult bodies, and so on and
yeah.
so on and so on.
Yeah.
And so our parents, they, regardless of how they pretend to think that they're perfect, they have
Yeah.
a whole ton of insecurities.
Yeah.
And so when our parents try to teach us ever since we're little, they do not have real self-love,
Mm,
not attached to all of the other voices. You get what I'm saying? They don't have that, necessarily have that like real connection, not even religious. I'm saying like a
mm,
real connection. Some people
yeah.
have been very blessed to have parents who are
Yes.
connected and very in tune and aligned, right? But the majority of people
Yes.
don't,
Majority.
right?
Mm,
And so what happens is that we find ourselves being raised, and then some parents are mixed, okay? They're kind of little
mm-hmm,
this and that.
mm-hmm,
But for the
mm-hmm,
most part, we find ourselves being raised by parents who
mm,
correct us, and and they they correct us without having any form of self-love. So when they're telling us, you know, about ourselves, you know,
yeah.
what we should do, what we should be better at, whatever,
Yes.
it's a lot of them talking to themselves.
Yeah.
And so they're giving it all, you know, back to us. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's what they heard
Yeah.
from their mothers, from their fathers, who were also heard that from
Yep.
their, you understand? So
Yeah.
it's pain
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
trauma being passed down.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to Most High, because most of us have really only experienced that form of parenting, we tend to think that Most High will be um, correcting us in the
Yes.
same manner. But the
Yes.
difference is that Most High, okay, has self-love.
That's right.
The
That's
difference
right.
is that Most High is
That's right.
perfect in love and perfect.
Yes.
So we, it's like it's hard to even fathom a parent
Mm,
that is so perfect and so full of love that
yes.
they are not correcting you to force you to be like them in order to gain some form of self-worth,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Most High wants us to come into the fullness of who we are because Most High
yes.
is perfect.
Yes.
And Most High is perfect, perfect in love, in truth, and in all of the goodness.
Yeah.
So if we can come into the fullness of who we are going to get to enjoy
Mm,
all of the goodness that's there to enjoy. It's
yes.
very different from a parent who is trying to get you to so-called be the best that you can be,
Mm,
because that best that you can be is something that is limited to
mm,
their understanding, their cultural
mm,
whatever,
mm,
their, like I said, whatever may have come down through their family. Like, only if
yeah.
you're into academics are you great, only if
Yeah.
you are you great, only if
Yeah.
you this, only if you that. So they could be saying like the best that you could be is for you to go to law school. Meanwhile, Most High created you to be an artist, a dancer,
Exactly.
or whatever.
Exactly.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so
Yeah.
what Most High wants to see you do is for you to figure out who you are, accept it, and shine,
Mm,
and get all of the blessings that your gifts and your
yeah.
talents have already, you know, aligned there
Find that for you.
for you to
Yeah.
live that
Yeah.
abundance, right?
Yes.
Um, it's very different. It's very, very different.
Yes.
So that voice, sometimes people hear the voices within themselves and it's their grandma, it's the mother, it's the father, it's the auntie, it's the neighbor, it's the teacher. It's someone along the way who told them something negative about themselves that now that they're trying to live, that voice comes forward, right? That voice comes forward, and it comes forward sometimes as their own voice, you know?
Yes.
It's a big thing, you know, it's a deep thing, but we
Yes.
can, if you come to the place to know yourself, you can really be honest and be like, why do I keep saying this to myself? What is the root of this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is this coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And you just sit there. If you don't have an answer, just sit with it. If you're
Mm-hmm.
honest, Most High will give you the answer. You will remember it, you will
That's
dream it,
right.
you will see it. Someone will come and talk to
That's
you
right.
about it. Like it
That's
will come to you. You know, if you're
that's right.
honest with that and you want the answer so that you can continue aligning yourself, it will always come to
Mm-hmm.
you, you know?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So true.
You're so funny, Duane.
I don't have any other questions. Like you answered all my questions in the process of all of your
All of the explanation.
explanations.
Yeah, you know.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
I really yeah, I really wish above all things that not just for other people but for myself, because even for
Mm-hmm.
myself sometimes, you know what I mean, like I get road rage, you know what I mean, like I still
Mm-hmm.
get road rage sometimes. I'm being honest. Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
still I'll be driving, I'm still like, where the hell did this person get their license from?
Yeah.
I'm still there, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Of
um
course.
and I love it. I do. I actually really enjoy. You know what? Here's the funny thing. I enjoy being a human being more now that I know that I live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Before I believed that I live forever, but ever since my closer to life is experience NDE,
Yes.
I know it's not a belief anymore. I know.
Yeah.
And so I feel the pain more, you know,
Yeah.
that comes along with being in the human form. I feel the pain more, but I feel the joy way more also.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's like the experience of it, you know, I wish more people really knew that God was love, that God is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to really know that God is love. I it's there, you know, even in Christianity, it's there that God is love. But,
Absolutely.
you know, so much of the doctrines have caused this
Yes.
mingling and twisting and stuff. And it's like people are so close, but then they're so far,
Yeah.
you know,
And I feel
God
like
is love.
yes, exactly. I feel like even without all of the programming and the doctrines, which plays like a huge part, I feel
Right.
like if people could get to that place of love within themselves for themselves and for I think it would be such a natural place to know that like if you can get to that place of real love within yourself, you it's like you automatically get to that place of like understanding or knowing, like really inner knowing that God is love and experience that love there as well. It's like they're tied together.
Everyone's journey is different, right? Everyone's journey is different. As you were saying that, it came to my mind like a question came to my mind as you were saying that.
Mhm.
Like, for me personally,
Mhm.
I don't know if I could have come to love myself
Mm.
without first having a glimpse of
Mm.
the love of God.
Mm. Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't know if I could have honestly. And
Yes.
even after I glimpsed that love,
Yes.
the the quote unquote journey to
Yeah.
accept it,
Yes.
that was Jesus, been like my whole lifetime, right? to
Yeah.
really accept it, and then to realize that it's something that I've always known. And
Yeah.
it's more so like remembering it, accepting it, and allowing that remembrance and acceptance to be my guide, to be my
Yes.
compass, to
Yeah.
be my strength,
Mm,
literally leaning, living in the love of God, right?
mhm, mhm,
And so I don't know if without the love of God in your
mm.
heart, if it's possible to actually come to the place where you fully love yourself.
Love yourself.
Because again, because God is love.
Like, yeah.
And there are things that we have done, there are things that we have thought, there are
Mhm,
things that
mhm.
have happened to us.
Yes.
There are so many different stories,
Mm.
right? There are so many different stories that have been told in our own minds, whether they're
Yeah.
true or not. And
Yes.
I feel like it's kind of difficult to navigate all of that without a knowing of unconditional love,
Mm,
you know?
mm,
And
mhm,
that's what you get, with
mhm.
when you encounter Most High.
Yeah.
It's more than a bright light.
Yeah.
When you encounter Most High, it's this overwhelming, like wrapped up, tangled up within
Mm,
you, outside of you, um, drowning
mm,
uh in love
mm.
that you've never known, that you've never experienced. And that love covers every single thing you ever thought of, ever planned on, ever actually did. It covers all of everything pertaining to you. And not only you, but everyone else. But
Yeah.
you cannot force that knowing onto anyone.
No.
Like people have to come to that for themselves. It's a gift, and they have
Mm,
to they have to accept it, and they have to receive it into their own hearts themselves. You could
yeah.
talk about it, but until someone asks for it, until someone receives it and experiences it, there's just really it's just an outside idea. You get what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
don't know how possible it is for someone to, and I'm not saying someone can't, I'm saying I
Mm,
only speak about my experience.
of
For
course.
me personally, that's the route that I went, and I just can't imagine it. I don't know how a person,
Mm,
like, how could you be
mhm.
human and get there without
Yeah.
the love of God? I just don't. Oh, I got a mosquito. So
Mm,
I just don't know how. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my story, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Mhm.
I don't know
Yeah.
how does one get there? What do you how do you navigate that?
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
human, being a spirit in a human body is messy.
Yeah.
It's messy work. It's messy
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And a lot of forgiveness, a lot of everything, a lot of love.
Mhm.
How do you do that? How do you love yourself
Mm.
and be honest about everything
Yeah.
without the love of God? I don't know how. So to those out there,
Yeah.
I would say, if you want to pray for something tonight, if you want to meditate on something, I would say meditate on, pray for, ask for, believe, receive the love of Most High. It is always pressing in, always waiting, always knocking at your door, always asking to come in. It's a forever desiring to fill your entire vessel. It's forever wanting to be known by you, for you, to be lived through you, and for you to experience life. through the love of God. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing else really to offer. I could really say, if on my dying bed, I would say, know God, know the love of God. You know, knowing God is knowing love. If you can know love, you know God. Seriously, real talk. And so I would say, just let that be your meditation, let that be your prayer. You know, receive, if you have to say, like, hey, Creator, Most High, I've heard, you know, about this love that you are. And I want to experience this love. I want to have my heart, my mind, my being filled with this love that you are, so that I can live my full life, that I could be my true self, that I could really be the image and likeness of you, love, who you have created me to be. I am the thought that is constantly in your mind. And I know and believe that you desire to see me be the fullness and to shine as bright as you have intended for me to shine. So help me to receive your love, so that I can not only love you, love myself, but love others. So be it, Ashe. And that's it. That's it. It's really that easy. If you repeated that, if you prayed it, if you desired it, if you received it with your heart, with your mind, with your being, believe that you have received it, and it is done. It's that easy. It's that easy. Okay. So I think, Duane, on that note, I think we could end tonight's session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the perfect note to end it on. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, family, we love you and look forward to, um, well, love stories on a little bit of a pause since I'm on my retreat. But when I do return, like I said, there's going to be some wonderful things, wonderful things. But the last episode of Not Every Voice is God, it's a little episode. It's going to be airing on Tuesday. Look out for that. And then we have one more. This is how you know, one more of these complimentary, um, you know, episodes to follow that one. And then we'll be on to something new. So I look forward to reading your comments. We look forward to reading your comments and to hearing from you. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't liked, you know, obviously, if you like the video, like the video. Don't like it if you don't like it. If you like the video, like it. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're benefiting from this channel and you like what we share, please go ahead and subscribe. It helps us and it helps to get the videos out. All of that good stuff. So yeah, love you lots. Have a great evening and looking forward to your comments. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.